All right, so I've been working on this field. I started it last December. We had a mild winter, didn't have any snow. I got this ridge where nothing was really growing back on it. A little bit of brush, a little bit of popple brush too, and I decided to clear it out. I'm gonna do a food plot right on top of this field. I originally was gonna plant a pine plantation right here, but I decided I needed more food. So I got everything cleared. There was a few live trees that I cut down. You can kind of tell those stumps. And this was logged before I bought it around 6 years ago. So the stumps are starting to rot pretty good. But I brush mowed it, got it down to the ground here, and marked all the roots, stumps and stuff that got to come out. I got the smaller tractor here, John Deere, little 3038, doing a little leveling in spots, and I'm getting the little stumps that I can. My brother is supposed to come over soon, now that it's drying out, and start pushing some of these other stumps out. If I don't get it planted for the summer, I definitely want something planted in here for the fall. But this whole perimeter, it's going to be hard to see in this video, planted pines all over. Trying to box it in. Got a stand up in this maple right here. It's a good spot. That stand's been there for quite a while. They do travel right through here. Nice swamp down here. It's probably, I'm gonna say like a 3 to 5 acre grass swamp that the deer really like to bed in. And they've always come up out of here. We have another food plot probably 300 yards away from where I'm standing, 300 yards from where I'm standing, but it's really tiny. It's like 1/8 an acre, and that's where we shoot most of our deer. And it's just a real good spot, secluded spot. There's a road over there, but it's pretty secluded up here, especially when the leaves are on. I think I walked this out, not exactly, but I walked it out, and it's just under a 1/2 acre. So I've already done the process of kind of planting trees around the edge here. That'll have to get burned this winter, you know, and then have more sticks and stuff that got to come out of here. But I'm a huge fan of white pine. Problem is here I have to fence them because the deer will eat them. And this is a nice grass patch. It's going to be right on the edge of the field. And the deer, when these get bigger, will hang out in this grass underneath these pine trees. And these are really good spots to find sheds. So luckily my property, it's been logged, but luckily I got a lot of these wild crab apple trees. The deer just love them. Last year was a terrible year. I didn't really have much at all. But this whole next ridge, this 30 acres here, has just got crab apples throughout this entire property. Down below, down by that grass, by the edge of the swamp, there's all kinds of them down in there too. They're just everywhere. They're starting to bud out right now. Hopefully I get a bumper crop this year. Deer hunting's a lot better when I got a lot of crab apples around. So I've been doing what I've been able to do with the little tractor. This was a real low spot right here, and there was a high spot here, and I just flattened it out. There was an old rotten stump here. I was able to get most of it. Got a little bit left there. But doing what I can do with the little tractor until my brother brings over his skid steer. My goal is to have a really nice alfalfa field out here. I already did soil samples and stuff, waiting to hear back on those. I'd just like it to be, I left a group of maple right there, just in the center of the field. I kind of like to do that. Leave at least 1 or 2 trees. There's another small group on the other edge. Unfortunately, this was the nicest group of maples here that I ended up cutting down. I didn't want to do it. I was very hesitant, but I did it. It's laying right there, but it's got to go. My shot's going to be here, especially if I do a pond. They're going to come in right there, so I got to be able to shoot over there. Probably take care of that here before too long. I got to come back out and tighten some bolts on this tree stand. It's creaking. It's 60, I'd say 60, 70 yards from here to the edge where it drops down on the far side of the field there. Probably the same over here, but they do come right down my trail that I made through here. They've always had a trail right here. And it was the most, the clearest spot to come end of this ridge, so I just ended up making a nice trail out of it. A few low spots in there, but that's nothing I can't take care of. So I got myself a new toy, and I've used it some. I've got half of the field behind the house already done. It's doing an amazing job. I was kind of worried about it being clay, and I guess there's quite a bit of rock, but it's a smaller rock. I actually dug out the bigger rock that I knew about that's been there for probably 20 years and ended up being huge rocks. But yeah, it's a 5-foot, get that on there, rotary tiller. It sure beats having a disc and plow. Saves a lot of time. This did a great job. I haven't worked this little field up in probably 10 years. I got some apple trees planted over here, but I want to just do a small pumpkin patch here for the kids, the grandkids and nieces and nephews, and come pick some pumpkins. But it did a great job, and this is thick grass, and so I don't want to say sod because I have worked it up, but it's really thick grass. But I'm just sitting here messing around with the fields, waiting for my brother to show up. He's supposed to show up with the skid steer, but of course he got a flat tire yesterday using it at his place, so I'm guessing he probably won't show up today. But if he does, we're gonna go out to the new field and see what we can get for stumps and some leveling done today. It's been really dry. That's the plan. I'm gonna go out here and probably finish this little field behind the house, and if he shows up, I'll show you some of that. Well, that's a finished product. Couldn't be more happy. That doe was back from the other day. This field here is a little over half an acre. I was gonna put alfalfa and clover mix in here. Waiting to get the soil sample back so I can get the ground right here. This doe is still right here. Oh. So I'd like to get this seeded here soon, in the next week or so. Unless it was just a heavy clump, I don't know. But there is quite a few rock in here that we pulled out during the years. I mean, this whole thing is all rock. I'm hoping I got the last of all the real big ones. Should have sprayed it first. Didn't do it. Got the tiller last night. Kind of got excited to use it. So didn't get it sprayed ahead of time, but you can always do that after with clover and alfalfa, whatever. So. rotten, so it came out pretty good. I have a lot of stuff to pick up after. There's just a lot of roots. Those maples are really in there. Hoping to get the majority of them, and then he does got a backhoe on a tractor too. Maybe I can get them back, get the ones that we can't get. Just kind of cutting around it, pushing. Well, we didn't get too far without a breakdown. That's the same tire that was flat. That's what I was waiting for him for. We fixed this morning. Brought it over and got another flat on the same tire. I think what happened is when he put that tube in there, he pinched it. These look like pinch marks with the tool, the tire tool right here. That's what I'm guessing happened. This is when he was putting the bead back on, he pinched it. And then he did that when he was trying to get the tire back off. He popped the bead, or the valve stem. So yeah, that's where we're at. The guy in town's supposed to have one. We're waiting for him to call. I think we got 4 stumps out. This is all that maple lane over there. Made a hell of a mess right here though. Didn't even get a chance to flatten it back out. So we got 4 stumps so far. There's one laying there, a couple smaller ones, but I think 4 decent sized ones, and many more to go. So not sure if we're gonna get anything else done today or not. Depends how late it is before that guy calls. I'm hoping maybe in the morning we can get a few more out, get it fixed, get a few more out. These ones here should come out pretty good. Like rotten birch, hole in the middle, hole in the middle. You know, if we can get a good section of half of this done this weekend, that'd be great. Well, we got the tire fixed. We got a few more stumps out, but it's too much for the skid steer. They're not quite rotted as much as I thought they would be. Surprisingly strong. Oh, that one will come out. So that one will come out. Well, it's the next day. I got quite a few out today. I didn't think I was going to go as good as it did, but I think I got a good majority of them actually. And the ones I can't get are just, I have to get someone with a little backhoe or something in here. Now I got to go back, walk around, pick up all the stumps. I'm going to say I got 70 to 80% of them. I'm actually pretty happy about what that did. After the first day, wasn't going so hot. I didn't think I was going to be able to get any of them, but really right now I could pick up what I have dug up, and I could probably start running the disc over it just to get things tore up, and then probably my cultivator after that. So, you know, like the bigger stumps here, this was a live tree. One over there was a live tree. Just too much for the skid steer. But a lot of these old popples, these ones are just too big. But a lot of these old popples, I was able to get them to pop up, so that's pretty good. But I think I can call that a success like that. Was just too big. Wasn't rotten enough. You know, you give that another year or two and I come back in here, I'll probably be able to get that out. I did get that live maple out. It's just sitting there, got to hook a chain on. I didn't want to drive down into this spot. It's kind of wet, so that's what it looks like after I don't know, probably 6 hours on the machine. Cool thing is, I only saw one rock in this whole thing, and I was pretty worried that this was going to be pretty rocky, but no, just clay and no rock. Well, that's going to end this. I didn't get a lot of footage running the skid steer, but you get the gist of what's going on here. I'll try to do an update after I get everything picked up, dissed really good, kind of flattened back out. That way we can get to where I need to get back in here at the machine and get the rest of the stumps. Everything's nice and flat. Remark the stumps that we didn't get and go from there. But thanks for watching.